We're joined now by Pitt offensive line commit Ryan Carretta. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us. How are you? You got the nice festive holiday scene behind you. How
Yep.
how are
Yep.
you as you head toward Christmas here?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks. Like I said, I'm glad we could catch up here. I just wanted to sort of chat with you a little bit before you sign with Pitt and get ready to move in. I know you're not going there until June, but take us back to when you committed over the summer. I kind of remember a little bit about your recruitment. It feels like it's about 6 years ago as opposed to
Yeah.
6 months. What initially led you to Pitt and made you commit to them?
They were my first offer.
Hmm.
So they offered me like I want to say January sophomore year. So they were with me for a while. So I got to build that relationship. And Coach Manilak, who recruited me, recruited my brother to where he is now.
Hmm.
Now before he switched to Pitt. So we had a relationship with them for a
Okay.
while. So it was good.
Yeah, I actually had forgotten that part of the story. But then, over the summer, I feel like you kind of looked at some different schools, right? Did you take other official visits or just kind of some unofficials? What was the scene there?
I took another official to Michigan State, unofficial to Michigan. So I
Okay,
bounced around there a little bit.
right. And those were before you went to Pitt, or did you go to Pitt first?
Pitt was first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think people feel like the last visit is sort of the strongest one. You know what I mean? It's like your most recent memory. But as you went to those other visits, were you kind of comparing them to Pitt, kind of
Yes.
sort of visit to visit?
Yep. I was.
How
So
did sort of what sort of stacked up there, I guess, or what gave Pitt the edge over like Michigan State, I guess, visit to visit comparison?
I'd say just how I meshed with like the players and the coaches together, and like I always kind of admired like a city. So I think it's cool how you're right there too with Pitt. So I
Hmm.
feel like that helped a lot.
Right. And then what about Coach Borbley? Obviously, you mentioned Coach Manilak. I'll ask you about him in a second. But Coach Borbley, as the offensive line coach, I mean, what's your connection like with him? What was it like when you met with him and spoken with him? I'm sure you guys are in contact pretty often.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good. I love him. I love him. He's a funny guy, but old school. He gets everything done. Doesn't take anything from anyone. So I liked it. I
And
like it.
were you able to go out to any games this season or?
I went to three:
Oh, okay. What games were you at?
Tennessee, Virginia Tech, and Syracuse.
Okay. What stood out to you when you watched, their offense in general and their offensive line in particular?
I feel like they work together well as a team. There's not a lot of complaining, I feel like, with those people because some games I'd go to, like, there'd be arguing between the teammates, and I
Hmm.
used to pick up on that, but I don't see any of that with the games I went to with Pitt.
Now, Coach Borbley, has he talked to you about tackle, guard, center? What kind of position does he seem to like you
Uh,
for?
he kind of just said everything. So kind of said we'll start at tackle, but however he feels I'm best at, I'll move there.
Oh, okay. That's funny. I talked to BJ Williams earlier and I said, same question. I was like, what position? And he said, yeah, pretty much everything. Although
Yeah.
he said it was center largely. Now, how big are you? What's your height and weight?
I'm 6'5", 290 right now.
Okay. You play tackle at St. Charles Prep?
I did. I played all three in high school.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so
So you have some experience snapping?
yep. Yep. I did that freshman year. So
Oh, okay. Did it kind of go like freshman year, you were center and then move to guard and then move to tackle?
yep.
Oh, okay. Did that sort of line up with like getting bigger or how did that kind of come
I'd,
about?
I'd say it lined up with getting bigger and faster. Like as I got bigger and faster, I kept moving out until I got to the tackle. So
Well, so I mean, you played them all then. What do you prefer? What interior tackle? What do you like?
I like guard. I think that was my favorite.
Oh, really?
That was my
What
favorite. Yeah.
what is it about playing guard?
I don't know. I feel like for me, it's more, hands on with the big guys up front. Don't have to mess around with the speed guys on the edge or any of that. Just man on man.
Take on the big D
Yep.
tackles as opposed
Yep.
to the blitzing linebacker or something
Yep.
like that, right?
Yep.
Well, what do you feel like? This is sort of along those lines. What do you feel like you do well on the field, or what has Coach Borbley told you he likes the most in your game?
I feel like he likes my. Always talks about my get off and like how I'm first to strike, which I think he loves. But he wants me to work on finishing better. I know that for a fact.
First to strike. That sounds like a very offensive line type of thing, right?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Is that, I mean, like when he says something like that, are you like, yeah, that's something I work on? I mean, is that a
Yeah.
focus or?
Yep. Yep. I'd say I do focus on that. Try to get on him first and don't play with him at all.
Right. What kind of, I think we always see the, Twitter videos of quarterbacks working with their quarterback trainer and that kind of thing, or, DBs running through ladder drills. What kind of stuff, what kind of extra stuff do you do as an offensive lineman beyond what, your practice with your team?
So I do like agility conditioning with the trainer, and then I do a like extra lift like outside of the team, and then I do with a old NFL offensive lineman. I did a lot of lineman drills and all that, which I feel like helped me a lot.
Yeah. What, what would be, it's sort of a goofy question, but what would be like one drill that you feel like has really had a big impact on how you play on the field?
Oh, I don't know. I used to do this thing. It was like with a band Vertimax thing, and we do like some set stuff. I forget what he called it, but it was like a banded workout with movement, like taking your steps, drop back, and I feel like that helped a lot. Stay balanced.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I'm curious, when you committed to Pitt, they were, fresh off an 11-win season, ACC championship. This year, they won a few, a couple less games. But what do you see overall out of the program, just in your contact with the coaches and just what you see just watching it?
I feel like they do it the right way, like with how they carry themselves and with the public compared to some of the other schools that I've looked at. And I feel like, the wins are going to come as you work. If you work hard enough, you'll win.
Mm-hmm. You do you stay in contact with, or do you have much contact with the other recruits in the class, other guys that are committed?
Oh yeah, I'd say we do. We have a group chat that we talk to each other on, so I feel like we stay well connected now.
Is it do you kind of hit up the linemen a lot, or is it pretty much everybody talking to everybody?
It's pretty much everyone. It's pretty
Nice.
much just a pile, and everyone just talks. So.
Right. And then is there did you make any connections with guys on the team during your official visit, like guys that you keep in touch with?
Yeah, I'd say so. My host, who's Sean Fitzsimmons, he's a D lineman. I think he's a freshman right now. And then Gavin Bartholomew, the tight end,
Oh yeah.
was another one that we hung out with a lot.
Oh, okay. Did you kind of like maintain contact with those guys like since then, or are you just
Here and there, like when I visit, I'll say talk to him and all that, but that's mainly it. But
right?
that. Mm.
Well, I mean, kind of, you sort of mentioned it a little bit earlier of like the teammates, everybody sort of getting along, no arguing. What do those guys tell you during your visits or anytime you've talked to them about sort of the culture of the team? You know what I mean? What it's like in the locker room there?
They always like never. I don't know how to word it, but like they never have any problems from what I heard outside of like the field. Like it'll be a chippy offense defense in practice, which is good. That's how you get people to do better and all that. But off the field, they always say that there's no hate; it's all love, which I feel like is a great way to build it.
Right. Well, yeah, it's funny. I mean, you mentioned about being on the field, and then you talk about Sean Fitzsimmons. I mean, that's like you said, he's a D tackle, right? Like if he's gonna be the kind of guy you're gonna be going against. I guess you'll find that split soon, right? Of fighting on the field and friends off.
Yep, for
Nice.
sure.
Now, you do. I know you talk to Coach Borbely a lot. Is Coach Manilak pretty regular with you guys as well? Like pretty weekly contact?
Yep, for sure.
What impression has he made? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say he came in, I think, last week.
Oh,
Yes, again for another visit. So
right. I guess he kind of recruits that area, right?
Yep.
He's there. Okay. What impression has he made on your family? I mean, you mentioned that you recruited your brother, and so obviously there's a connection there. But what has stood out to you guys about him?
I just feel like he's like one of the real guys. Like he'll give it to you straight. But like he's also very good man, good family. Like so, I just feel like that's what stood out for my family and him.
Sure. All right, Ryan. Well, I appreciate you taking some time tonight. I know you're enrolling in June, so we'll look forward to meeting you once you get to Pitt then. But thanks again. We appreciate it, and congratulations on signing, and we'll talk to you again sometime soon.
Thank you.